Hey hackers, just wanted to give a super quick disclaimer here. These programs I show you guys how to make are just for fun, for education. They're just pranks. Don't take them to the full ultimate scale level, just ruining people's computers. Like, come on, just be responsible. And the other thing I want to tell you guys is when I show you guys how to have the computer or how the programs run upon startup, do not have the program have an infinite loop or else you can't save it, right? Okay, you have a program in the start directory, your computer turns on. If it's an infinite loop, unless you're opening websites infinitely, the computer's going to crash, so you turn it off. But if you turn it back on again, it's just going to run the file and, crash your computer again. This has happened to me once before, but I was able to fix it. But don't do an infinite loop program in the startup file. You'll really ruin someone's computer like that. Anyways, enjoy the pranks. They're actually really funny and really cool. So hope you guys like this video. If you guys like content like this, let me know. Peace. Hey hackers, Blue Cosmodium from CCS here, and welcome back to the channel. First up and foremost, happy Easter. It is Easter Sunday after all. And but 3 days ago it was actually April Fool's Day, right? And I was thinking of doing some cool video ideas for April Fool's Day, but I couldn't really think of any. So then it kind of dawned on me that, April Fool's Day is about pranks. So I'm gonna make a video about, programming some pranks, right? So I thought Windows would be a good option to do this on because it's the most popular and most vulnerable, operating system there is. So we can actually, kind of get started and just jump right into the pranks, right? So you can open up PowerShell, and if you don't know how to open PowerShell, there's two main ways you can do it. You can hit your Windows key and then simply type in PowerShell. It should be right there, Windows PowerShell. Or if you don't want to do it that way, you can hold down the Windows key and hit R, and it'll open up this little run box. And here you can type in PowerShell and just hit OK, and it will open. Now your PowerShell will look different than mine. Mine's customized, so it's this black and green color, but yours will look blue, right? It should be like this blue color. So we can kind of just start, right into the pranking or programming, I guess. And we can make a directory. And if you don't know what a directory is, it's basically a folder that holds files. And we're going to make a directory. We're going to call it pranks. Cool. Now we're going to change our directory to pranks rather than our current directory, right? So let's clear that so we have some more screen real estate. So now we are in our pranks folder or pranks directory, and we want to make a file, right? So let's call our file, I don't know, we can call it prank.vbs. All right. Now VBS is Visual Basic Script. And this is the main scripting language we're going to be using today, but we'll also be using a little bit of, I guess, DOS, like good old Windows command line code. So we made our file now, so let's actually edit it. So because you guys are probably new to this, you can use Notepad. So Notepad is just the Notepad, like default Notepad text editor. You can just do Notepad and then the file we want to edit, which is prank.vbs. So you can do that and edit the file here. Me personally, I'm going to use Notepad++. You guys won't have this, so just run the Notepad and the prank.vbs command instead. Cool. So now we can actually create some pranks, right? So the good thing about Visual Basic Script is that you can control the keyboard. So, or, emulate a keyboard, right? Do keystrokes and keystroke injection and all that. So I was thinking of a few different prank ideas that we could do using Visual Basic. So the first thing I was thinking is some sort of like typer or like a ghost typer, right? Where the person is, just, or the target is, just working or typing along or whatever. And then as they're typing on their Google document or whatever, they see a message slowly appear, but they're not the ones typing it, right? So that's going to be kind of weird, kind of sketchy. I thought that would be a pretty cool prank idea. So the first thing we're going to do is use the dim command, and we're going to make our loop, right? So we're going to call this loop count. And this is basically just going to be a counter. And it'll count how many times we run our prank, I guess, our message. So we're going to create the actual loop by using a for loop. And a for loop is just a loop that iterates for every item in a certain range, right? So if we do 1 to 10, this is going to do for every number in between 1 to 10, it will do whatever we type it to do here, and then it will go to the next number. Cool. So now from there, we can pretty much put whatever we want into here, and it will run it 10 times. It'll run it the first time, then it'll go to the next number, then it'll run whatever we have here the second time, all the way to the number 10. So before we even get to that, we need to set up our keystroke injection, right? So we'll set key. This is going to be our variable, and this is going to be equal to create object, and then inside of here, we put 2 double quotes, and then we are going to do wscript.shell. Now this will allow us to pretty much do the actual keystroke injection, as well as having sleeping intervals, and I'll explain that in a second. So the first thing we want to do is key.send keys, and this will allow us to send a keystroke, right? So let's send the keys hello. All right, and then now we want it to delay it for a second, right? So this is what I was talking about earlier. So in order to delay, we have to do wscript.sleep, and then we'll do 1000. So this 1000 is 1 second because the delays are measured in milliseconds, right? So 1000 milliseconds would be 1 second. And if we wanted to do half a second, it would be 500 milliseconds for half a second. But we're going to stick with 1 second. Oh yeah, and like 100 would be 0.1 seconds, right? Or 100 milliseconds. So we're going to keep the 1000 for the 1 second delay. And after 1 second, we are going to send another keystroke. So key.send keys. And this time, we're going to say world. Cool. So just like that, that's all we really need to do. Actually, let's have another delay, so that way when it loops back up here, we don't have to see like that super quick typing type of thing. So we'll have another delay for 1000. And I don't want to wait too long for this, so we'll just do a loop of 5 seconds, or 5 times. So cool. So it creates our counter, right? We have our keystroke injection set up. Then we can just do for every number from 1 to 5, we will send the keystroke hello, wait 1 second, send another keystroke or a set of keystrokes saying world, and then wait another second. And then that's it. And it'll just keep doing that over and over again for 5 times. So let's actually test it out, right? So we can actually just /. Actually, I'll show you guys how to run it. So if we go to our file explorer, you can just simply type in explorer and then a period to represent our current path. And it opened it on my other screen over here. But you can see it opened up the prank.vbs that we have, right? So super quickly, I'm actually going to rename this because I have multiple prank ideas that I want to do. So let's do that here. So we can rename something by using the move command. So we're going to move prank, and we're going to change it to ghost type .vbs. Awesome. So no. So we can close that, and we can just edit ghost type.vbs, and there you go. So again, you're using Notepad instead of edit, but I'm just using it just to show the syntax highlighting and making it easier for you guys to understand. I'll make that a little bit bigger for you guys to see as well. Cool. So we can actually come back here and we have our ghost type.vbs. So I can actually like run this, and let's put this over here. So if we double click this and put my mouse over here, it's just going to type in hello world every second. It's going to do this 5 times. So that's pretty cool, right? So instead of hello world, we can do like I'm behind you or I'm watching you, just to prank your friends, just to scare your friends. And they'll, just see a message being typed on the screen as they're working. So that's pretty cool thing, right? So another idea I'm having right now that I'm doing this is backspacing, right? I have to backspace this whole thing. So what if we made a prank where it would hold down the backspace? So let's do it, right? So we're going to make a new file. We're going to call this, let's call this backspace.vbs. And VBS, by the way, is Visual Basic Script. I don't know if I clarified that or not, but it will allow us to do what we're doing now. So we made our Visual Basic Script file right there, backspace. Now let's edit it. So edit, backspace. And in order to autocomplete, you can just hit the tab. So you can type in BA and then hit the tab, and it'll assume you're talking about the backspace file in the directory. Cool. So we can open it up, and we have a new file. So let's get to work, right? All right, guys, so I basically just put the same thing that we did last time, the loop setup. So now we can actually hold down the backspace key, right? So first I want to have the actual backspace key being pressed. So we can use key.send keys, and then we can use 2 double quotes and then curly braces inside of the double quotes, and then BS. So this indication, right? So the double quotes and the letters or strings, basically we'll just type in the letters BS. But if we put the curly braces around here, it will assume that we're talking about the button, and the button BS backspace is what we're pressing, right? So we'll press the backspace key, and then what we want to do after that is have us delay. So we can do wscript.sleep, and we'll wait 100 milliseconds. So that way it can go back to pressing the backspace key. Now, this file is cool and all, but there's one fault to it, and you guys will see that in a second. So let me have a copy of that. So if I double click this and go over here, see that? It backspaced 15 times. So that's cool and all, but how do we get it to just keep on holding the backspace key? Make sure, when you're pranking your friends with this type of thing, that they're not working on anything important and they're not just backspacing, something that they've been working on for a while. So be cautious with these types of things. These are supposed to be fun, educational, light pranks. But this is cool and all, but how will we make this loop forever rather than looping for 15 times? So instead of doing a for loop, we're just going to do an infinite loop, right? So we can use do and then loop. And basically, this will just do this and then just loop it just over and over again. And it will not stop unless if you restart the computer, right? So, all right, that's a cool prank. So now if we ran it, I'm not going to run it, but if we ran it, it would just infinitely loop the code. So I'm not going to do that for the sake of not having to restart my computer. Also, if these pranks ever, come out of hand and you can't fix the problem, open up your, your task manager. You can just hit the Windows key, search up task manager, go into task manager, find the process, and then just close it. It's very simple. All right, so that's a cool, another cool prank idea. So let's make a new one, right? So let's just do it, edit. And the last idea I had is for, I don't know how to phrase it, I guess, just like a crazy typing, right? We'll call it crazy type. And I'll explain what I want to do with this in a minute. So crazy type.vbs. Yes, we're going to make a new file called crazytype.vbs. And you can see right here, our crazytype.vbs was made. So what is this exactly going to do? Well, I want this to basically show, or not show, I want this to hit the caps lock on and off over and over again, right? So when someone's typing, it's just going to look kind of like that, right? If they're typing something professionally, it's all going to be almost like camel cased, if you know what that is. Like some characters are going to be uppercase, some characters are going to be lowercase. So if they're like coding or writing a book or something, or typing a book, while they're typing, their caps lock is just turning on and off, on and off. So I thought that would be a pretty funny prank as well. So to get this started, we're just going to do the same thing that we did last time, right? Cool. So we set up the file how we've done it for the past 3 times, right? So similar to the backspace.vbs, we're just going to be pressing a key. Instead of the backspace key, it's going to be the caps lock key, right? So we can just do key.send keys and then have it be equal to the caps lock. Whoops. There you go. Caps lock. So now it will hit the caps lock, and then we will guess delay, right? So we can do wscript dot sleep, and then we can and then we can sleep for 100 milliseconds. Cool. So basically, like all these other pranks, right? We have the counter set up. We have the wscript shell to send keystrokes. So we can do a for, every number between 1 to 100. We will hit the caps lock key, wait 5 milliseconds, and then go to the next number, all the way up to 100. It's very simple. So I guess we can just do it. So I'll make a new little file thing right here. So let's crazy type, and then I'll do hello world. Yes, yeah. My name is Cosmo, and yeah. All right. Well, it turned off now, but yeah. See, now it's just normal. But yeah, so if someone's working on their computer and they're typing something, or they're supposed to be typing something, it's just going to be all weirdly spelt and stuff. All right, so we can close that. We don't need that. So yeah, those are 3 cool pranks. So you could really end the video here and just make your friends click on these, rename them to like game.vbs, whatever. But let's take this a little bit more extreme, right? So these pranks are cool and all, but unless if you're doing like an infinite loop instead of like the for loops, or you convince your friend to click on the file, then not much is going to happen, right? It's a cool, funny prank. So I was thinking, what if we could escalate this a little bit further, right? So if we open up a new file explorer, and it opened on my other monitor, but it's all good. So, okay. So if you go to your C drive or your main OS drive, go to your users, go to your username, app data, it should be hidden. So you have to hit view and then show hidden items. But you can go on app data or roaming, Microsoft, Windows, start menu, programs, and then finally the startup. This startup file or startup directory will allow you to basically put any program in here, and it will start as soon as the computer turns on. So what if we put these pranks in here, right? So like I guess you could manually move them into here, but that's not as cool. That's not as efficient. So what if we made a file that basically changed this directory to here, and then just created one of these files into here. So instead of Visual Basic, we're going to use something called .cmd. Instead of Visual Basic script, we're going to use the CMD script. CMD is command line. but it's basically just DOS, right? It's just this old school language that Windows still has. So in order to do this, let's edit, and we'll call this payload. And this is just the default name for most, I guess, malware, things like that. So edit payload. Yes, we're going to make this new file. And I guess I'll make this full screen, just get that better screen experience. So first thing we're going to want to do is add echo off. So what this does is basically turns off outputting. So you can't see anything that's happening when you run the file. So we want people, when they click the file, that they just want to see nothing happen, right? They're like, oh, is this file broken? So they just keep clicking it. Nothing's happening. It's like, oh, okay, it's probably just broken, right? Next thing we're going to do is change our directory. So we're going to change our directory to the startup file, right? So we want to maneuver our way over here. So we can copy the path and paste it into here. Let me turn my brightness up a little bit more for you guys, because the, what's it called, that thing that makes your screen dimmer or whatever turned on. So all right, so now we have it, CD into our startup file. I have it in quotes because there's a space here, and the start command will try to make Windows start this thing. It's weird, just put it in the double quotes if there's a space in the path. But another problem we're having with this is this part right here, my username, right? My username is Wade. So the thing is, this is cool and all, but how are we, unless if you know your friend's username, this this process would pretty much just completely not work, So instead of using the username, we can use a Windows default variable called username, and it just gets the username or the current user's username. So we can do 2% signs, and then in between, we're going to put username. And there you go, we have the username. So no matter what happens, it will just find the username, input it into here, and then go to that path. So that's part one, right? So we're in the directory. All we had to do was make the file. So you're going to do 2 parentheses and output it into our CMD file or our VBS file, like the Visual Basic script. And in between these parentheses, we're going to write the file. So if we wanted to do like a VBS script, we can do like the ghost type or the crazy type or the backspace. But I already showed you guys how to do that. So we're going to do a different type of prank, right? So I'm going to use a .cmd file, and we'll call this windows.cmd, right? Actually, we'll call this website.cmd, all right? And this website.cmd that we're making is basically just going to open a website. So we can tab over here, and we can just do, what should we do? Oh yeah, so when you're writing a file inside of a CMD script, you write it in between these 2 parentheses, but you have to start with, every line has to start with echo, so it knows it needs to write this file, write the line to the website.cmd. All right, so we have our echo, and we're just going to do start www.website, actually .example.com. So the Windows start command basically allows you to start a process, right? So you can start Firefox, or you can start a website like we have here, or you can just type in start will just open another command line. And if you don't know what a command line is, it's basically like PowerShell. PowerShell's command line, but they have a very specific one. So CMD, yeah. So instead of PowerShell, it's just this. If you really want to, you can hold down the Windows key, hit R, and then type in CMD, and there you go. This is a command line right here. So let's exit that, and we can actually just clear most of that. So now this file really should just, this payload.cmd, right, will turn off outputting, so we won't see anything that's happening. It will open, or it will change its directory to the startup menu. It will create a file called website.cmd, and that website.cmd file will open example.com. So basically, you can put any website you want on here. You can do, like, if you want to rickroll somebody, you can put the I'm never going to give you ups on, the link, YouTube link. You can put my YouTube video of this just to show them how dangerous or how easy it is to exploit Windows like this. Do whatever you want. So we're just going to do example.com. So we can minimize this, double click the payload, and there you go. Website.cmd just popped up right here. You guys just saw that. So now if you start your computer, website.cmd is going to be ran, right? So you double click website.cmd, and on my other tab right here, it opened up this website. Oh, not other tab, other monitor. And there you go, example.com. So that's pretty cool. So every time someone turns on their computer, it opens up that website link, right? So if you wanted to turn off that, how this command line window popped up before it opened the website, that's what @echo off does. It basically prevents that from happening. So we can echo and @echo off, so that way it can look a little bit more covert. So we'll run it again to update this file. And if we open website.cmd, there you go. So now it didn't show the path or anything like that. So yeah, every time someone turns on the computer, it'll open example.com. All right, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So instead of doing this website.cmd, you can do crazy type or backspace or any of the other Visual Basic script files. Just instead of a .cmd, you can do a .vbs, and then so instead of .cmd, you can do .vbs, and then just echo out each command. So instead of echo @echo off, you would do echo dim count, echo set key equals whatever, and that's really it. Show the website starting. I'm pretty sure I left the file there. I don't think I deleted it. So in a second or two, not a second or two, but in a second, we should see the website open up. Yeah, you saw the command line? Yeah, right there. It is opening. Let's see. Yep, example.com. Cool. So the program works, just so you guys know that if you put it in the startup menu, it will actually work. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. That's pretty much it. Some cool basic Windows pranks using DOS and Visual Basic Script. If you guys are kind of interested in that type of content, I can make more videos similar to this if you guys like. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, do the whole YouTube algorithm thing. Stay happy, stay positive, and as always, happy hacking.